So, welcome back to another video of mine, a build showcase, just like the last video I put up, but now for Zane, we're gonna cover this bad boy. This build is MH4 viable. The chain god build can run the takedown pretty much no problem. This build is so insane that you only need 3 items and your skills. Um, while you still want, to use other items than those 3 because it'll make the build even stronger, and that's how you're gonna get the MH4 takedown easy. It's not as powerful as, recursion Amara and stuff like this, but still. So let me take the gear, go across the gear first. First of all, the Maggie, really great for mobbing and sometimes even, like bossing for Tron, the Tron brothers, or I don't remember if they're brothers or whatever. Like light bossing. This is extremely good. Now I've got this anointed. When Sentinel is active, I get 50% bonus damage as cryo damage. That's extremely good. It ups my DPS so much. Pretty much these enemies that we're gonna go across in Athenas are gonna die in 3 to 5 shots with this if I hit critical hits. Even if I don't hit critical hits, it does just absurd amount of damage when SNTL is active, which it will always be. Then I'll cover the EMP5, Creator's EMP5. A really good weapon. I don't use it much for killing things. I prefer to use it for the movement speed bonus because when you hold the EMP5, you go a little bit faster. And this, combined with Zane's skills, will give just a big boost to your movement speed, and you can get around very fast. That's nice. Then the Dictator, I've got it in Radiation, which I would prefer to have it in either Cryo or Non-Elemental for Zane. But this works just as fine. You put the bipod, you switch to bipod mode, and you're good to go. You just go up close to enemies, go straight up to their crit spot, and just spam away. You'll get your action skill a little bit faster because of how many pellets it shoots. It shoots 7 pellets in a horizontal line, and with one of Zane's skills, that every shot has a chance to proc action skill cooldown. You're gonna get it extremely quick. No, not action skill cooldown, but when you have your action skill active, if you want to keep them up, if they're going down, you can just use this and get them back to full duration. Then for the shield, I have the stopgap, which the shield really doesn't matter because you don't even need a shield for this build. It's insane. You can just run around shieldless, and you'll still be pretty much always full HP. It's it's incredible. Like, I love this so much. I hope they don't nerf it because otherwise I'll be quite disappointed. But still. So stopgap, I use this for the immunity if ever my shield breaks, which it usually won't because of how my Sentinels is set up. Well, if it does break, I got 5 seconds of immunity, which that's plenty enough to make it start recharging, and the other skill that it boosts are the movement speed and health. You get 17% resistance to the last damage type that you received for 3 seconds, um, which is pretty good. I've never really like noticed it because I'm so used to playing Moes and having already like about 13% damage reduction. But it's still great. It's still great. And then movement speed when shields are full, which is always, pretty much always. You're gonna movement speed, pair that with the creator's EMP, and you go super fast. The anointment is for Beastmaster. We're playing Zane. We're not using Flak. Then, of course, a hex, a recurring hex. If you can get either Murph-Tackler or recurring, they're the best versions because they spawn 6 grenades upon impact. This is more for the anointment, where on a grenade thrown, my weapon and grenade if Sentinel ever throws a second one, they'll get 25% bonus damage for 6 seconds, which it's short, yeah. It's a bit worse than the elemental for 10 seconds after action skill end. Uh, but this is on grenade thrown, so you can get this bonus easier. And it's good in general, better DPS, And then we'll get to the main part of the build. First off, the redistributor. That's the first thing you're gonna need for this build, is the redistributor. Every 7th shot is gonna be amped, and those shots chain to other enemies, which makes for like extremely good crowd control. Uh, I was playing a bit this morning, and I cleared a room full of about 12 enemies that spawns in total there in about not even a minute. It takes just a few seconds if you can hit your shots, your critical hits. It takes mere seconds to just decimate everything with the setup that you run. And I've got this where if my action skill does run out, I get a bit of bonus shock damage as well to tear through these shields extremely easily. Then I've got a not the best. It's not the best variant of the Scene Dead class mod, but you need this class mod. The skills are that it boosts are kind of important, but you don't depend on them. You depend on the class mod itself, which is really nice. I've got one with some good perks. Bonus damage, bonus projectile chance, and bonus fire rate. That's my skills that I have on it. And the stats that it improves, only really the one I use is the pistol damage with the Maggie. And that's why I'm saying, like, my Maggie can 3-shot enemies in MH4. That's because it gains extremely insane amount of damage when Sentinel is active. And then the electric banjo. At first thought, this this relic seems bad because it's bullet proc chance. What does it mean? Basically, you have a 20% chance that your bullets will chain to other enemies, and that chain count as a bullet too. So if you're lucky, you can have the bullet chain to another enemy, and that one will chain to another enemy, and I think it can chain twice or 3 times. I'm not too sure, but it can chain a lot, and this makes the redistributor extremely powerful with this setup because of the scene that will, when you hit an enemy, when you damage an enemy, you have a chance to activate your kill skills, and they get 25% bonus effect. They're more effective, and it goes a long way. Now, this electric banjo is the one you'll be looking for, with 16% shock damage and 27% electrocute chance. You can get 29% electrocute chance, or I think it's the other skill. There's another skill that it can boost, but this is the perfect one you want. Uh, Not much after that. It's just good crowd control in general. Then I have a second redistributor if I want to use cryo. I don't really use it much, but a friend of mine gave it to me on his way, and well, I've been using it a bit here and there since. The Kib's Worth, really nice if you ever go in a situation where you're gonna be low health. This weapon, when you get a kill, it'll spawn the healing aura it's its gimmick. It spawns a healing aura that will vanish in about 2 or 3 seconds, but it heals so much, it's insane. And then it resets every 10 seconds. So if you need quick healing, that could be a weapon, but you really don't need healing with this build. Then I have the Cutsman for bosses, for bossing. In general, you want either the bonus damage on action skill end or weapon damage increased by 100%. You want either of these anointment to really completely shred Wotan in the takedown. And other than that, I have a cut purse if I'm low on ammo. I can go up to a mailbox and just stab it, and I'll get, ammo back. You can also proc your kill skills. See, I procced my kill skills on the mailbox because it somehow counts as an enemy. So yeah, you don't really need the other pieces of gear that I have on me, other than the Cutsman's. You basically don't. you need basically 3 to 5 things depending on what you want to do. Then for the skill tree, I'll start with the green tree. 5 out of 5, ready for action. You'll get bonus shield recharge rate and delay, which is just nice in general. You won't need action skill cooldown rate. You won't need max shields because you're already like super tanky. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And then 5 out of 5 brain freeze. Brain freeze will have 20% chance to freeze an enemy when scoring a critical hit. That combined with the Maggie that has 6 pellets, you pretty much have 100% chance of freezing enemies in about 2 shots. It's insane. And then the skill that you probably, if you're using a Rough Rider for this or using no shields at all, this skill is worthless, but I'm using a shield still, so whenever it's full, I get 35% gun damage and 33% accuracy, and that decreases if my shield goes down, but, still a good skill to have. Then onto the red tree. 5 out of 5 synchronicity, I can't pronounce that, but that's kill. Basically, you'll get 20% actions, 20% damage when your action skill is active, and you can proc it twice because you can have 2 action skills with Zane, which you're gonna need the barrier with the dome all-rounder. The other skill that I have in the barrier is not useful because when you pick it up, usually this will not proc. This will not work. It's really weird. It's a bug, apparently. But it just doesn't work. What can we do about it, right? So yeah, bonus damage, always good. And then Donnybrook. This can stack twice, first of all. And since we have the Seeing Dead class mod, this will, when you shoot an enemy, you can proc it. And when procced, you get 27% gun damage and 4.5 health regen. And this can stack twice. So 40 or 50 something, 52% gun damage all the time with the Seeing Dead class mod. That's just a really good damage increase. You'll see in the gameplay how it absolutely melts everything. Even like the bigger mobs, the badasses and stuff, you can still do good with the setup. And then what I consider the most important tree, it's not technically the most important, but I find it to be extremely good. That you pretty much need points here in every Zane build, even cryo builds, even speed builds. So Violent Momentum, you get 20% damage at default walk speed. As far as I know, this has no cap. I've tried to test it because I'm not a good tester at things, but I think I was doing about twice the damage once with my Maggie. I was one-shotting enemies in MH4. If you go really fast, this absolutely train wrecks everything. Then 5 out of 5 on Violent Speed. You'll get more movement speed when you proc a kill skill, which you're pretty much always gonna proc. So, you know, more movement speed, more violent momentum, etc., etc. 2 out of 5 Cool Hands. This bonus reload speed, and on kill skill you get even more, which you'll proc because you shoot enemies and such. But this is more to move down the. This is more for moving down the skill tree. One drone delivery, you can only put 1 point there. I don't know why I said that, but your drone will throw a grenade out, proc the anointment, more damage. 1 out of 5 salvation. You only need 1 point in salvation. Some say, like the YouTuber Moxsy says, that 2 points is better here, and then later down this is you better be using 2 points there. I switched it around. It's still great lifesteal. Any lifesteal will get you back to full health, basically. I've never died yet with Zane. The only time I died was in the Takedown. I fell down the map. That's my situational awareness for you. And then moving down the skill tree, we have Death Follows Close, which you'll get 25% kill skill bonus and more duration to them, which always nice. You always want to pick this up if you're going for a Zane build. Then moving down, we have Violent Violence, more fire rate when you proc a kill skill, always good, more DPS. Then 5 out of 5 Playing Dirty. I have my class mod boosts my my skills. Then when I'm gonna get a kill skill, I have with this class mod 105% chance to have an additional projectile. That means double DPS all the time, and that is I find this to be completely broken, because you'll lash out just insane amount of damage, and you link every enemy together, and it's just beautiful. Like, Zane can do me M4. People told me that Zane is probably the worst Volt Hunter. Nah, man, this ain't true. This ain't true. And then the last kill, Good Misfortune. Basically, killing an enemy increases Zane's action skill duration. It replenishes it, basically. With the Seeing Dead class mod, you proc those skills all the time with the detector, you're gonna get 18%. If you can actually get this with every shot. It's insane. So let's go and show off the build. I'll unplug my mic for a bit, and yep.
Let's have a chat, shall we? See that? Teach you how to fight! Take that, you ganky knob! Operation. End of the road for you. This will be just for the crack. Comes for us all! You first! I'm on fire! But not literally.
So yeah, that was a run through Athena's for, I don't know the length of time, but that was pretty short. It could be even shorter if I had a perfect comm that boosted weapon damage, SMG damage, and Hyperion critical hit damage, or critical hit damage in general. I don't really need. I just need weapon damage and SMG damage to really shred through anything that the game throws at me. This this might make Zane my main. Before I used to main Flak, but he got nerfed so damn hard, and honestly his builds are good, but I don't like him as much as just running and gunning and never dying with Zane, because you still die with Flak and it sucks. But yeah, that's been it. I'll see you guys next time.